Show you right.
Whistle sounds good.
Well, at least something's working then. Countywide. Countywide.
I hear you, countywide.
All right. You know who I am. Who are you?
Junkyard.
Hello, Junkyard. Welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup warm-up session.
Yeah, I hear you. So what's going on this Sunday?
Classic Radio Wednesday. Time to break out them old CB radios and get them on the air.
I only have one. I used to have a lot, and now I only have one.
Well, one is certainly better than none.
Yeah. Enough.
Yeah, better to have one than none.
Well, it depends on what it is.
Well, that's what she said.
Yeah.
She said that last night.
Here we go. 1, 2. Here we go. Close enough.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'm close enough. If I'm not, well, then I need more picofarads.
Well, as far as I can tell, you're right on the money. We're close enough. They're in.
Well, then I got the right amount of picofarads on my crystal.
Well, you got a frequency counter. You should know for sure by then.
Yeah, but that's not in line with this pile of radios. It's in line with the other pile of radios.
Oh, you don't have a freak counter with a sniffer antenna, huh?
I do, but I blew it up.
Oh, man.
It was a kit. I just need to fix it, figure out what's wrong with it. It's not too difficult. I just hadn't gotten around to it. So you're not going to try and guess which one I'm picofarading around?
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, well, I know you, and you know the inventory, and there's only 3 choices.
Actually, there's more than that. Well, that's true. There's 3 choices. You're right.
All right. There really could be 4, I suppose, but it's not the 4th one.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound plus 3-ish. And it doesn't sound stock Mikey, so I'm going to leave the Metro text out of the picture. So I'm going to have to go for choice number 3.
And that would probably be correct. The one that was free, picked right out of the trash can.
Oh, that's the Utica?
Yes, this is the Utica. Town and Country, number 2.
Oh, well, there is 4 choices. I was thinking the 2 Metro texts, and oh, Jesus.
The multi-LMAC, that was choice number 4, but that one I immediately put right out.
Yeah, I was thinking the multi-LMAC. Okay, so you're on the Utica.
I am indeed on the Utica. Town and Country.
That thing sounds really good.
I know, it does. It was worth pulling out of the trash can, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And as an added bonus, the video gate's rolling.
Oh, wow. We got video gating.
Now, don't be in a hurry. I still have to upload it, and it's been a while since I've done so. So hopefully I'll be able to jump through that hoop.
Who's in a hurry?
But I should be able to. My account, I know my password and all that stuff, and I remember it being reasonably easy once that was set up. So that's all set up, so it should work.
Yeah. All right. Let me just calibrate my calibration here. Oh, that looks good. All right. We got the right amount of audio and the right amount of video and all that other good stuff.
And the S meter on this thing is pretty much right on, too. The only strange thing is the meter starts out at the top at 0 and goes down to 60 plus.
Right, whereas the Metro text go the other way, right?
Yeah, that's right. And you're right there, just under the S9.
Yeah. Let's see here. I got a hum here. There we go. Now I'm right on frequency.
Wow, sounds good coming in the Utica. This thing's got real nice audio on the receive side of things.
Yeah, I'm running my Midland 13898B tonight.
Oh, it sounds real good coming through the Utica.
I'm glad you let me know that you were running the video game, because I had a story I wanted to tell you, but I don't know if I want that recorded for posterity, just in case the wrong people happen to come across it.
Oh, wait a minute. Salacious content makes video gates go up in view counts.
Yeah, but there's a person involved that I don't want them to get in trouble if the wrong people were to find out.
All right. Well, then I guess it's best that I forewarned that it's going down into digital media.
Yeah, digital media. Fun.
There's another station that checked in out there, the Junkyard.
We got a junkyard dog and a radio cat. Breaker. And a joker. Joker's there. Who's out there?
Yeah, and so is the Spanish-speaking. Well, that's not a Sweaty Maria. That's Sweaty Juan.
Oh no, must be Maria's husband. One or two. Which one?
That's Juan. Who's that other masked transmitter out there?
Who, me?
Unmask thyself.
I ain't wearing no a man. Wow, no face diapers here.
Yeah, COVID's over. All right, well, it's officially Classic Radio Roundup, channel 13, 27115. Why is things changing here? I don't know, we'll just make up for it. Go ahead there, Breaker 13, low level, I hear you.
Yeah, buddy. Where's Wayne?
Oh, there's a breaker out there in the distance. Let me see if I can pick him up. Go ahead, Breaker.
Breaker. Go ahead. What's going on, guys? Got Jim over here in Lansdale. Heard you guys talking, thought I'd jump in there. Well, welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup. We're just kind of winding up. 10-4. That's right, it is Wednesday.
Yeah, Classic Radio Wednesday.
Well, we were winding up, but now it seems like the airlet got let out of the balloon.
And I hate it when I give a break and the breaker don't take the break. Why are you going to ask for a break when you're given the break? You don't take the break. I'll never understand.
Well, I don't know who that break was, but Jim in Lansdale's in there.
Well, he took the break when you gave him the break, but there was a break before his break that didn't take the break.
Too many breaks, man. Hate when that happens.
Yeah, there ought to be a law against it.
Yeah, what do you say? So I was talking to, well, in two different means and through two different medias, but last Sunday night, Mr. Fix-It's back in there. He's up there near Rooster. And I got a message on Grumpy's forum from Blue Max. He still has the antenna problems, but he's trying to make his way back to the fold here.
Mr. Fix-It's here tonight.
Hello, Mr. Fix-It.
Howdy.
There he is. Speaking of the devil.
Yeah, I was just listening for a little bit.
Are you the same Mr. Fix-It that used to come in here years ago?
I like me some trouble every now and again.
Yeah, I remember a Mr. Fix-It from years ago, and I'm guessing you're the same one?
Hey, I got a question for you. Now, I got this unit in Bearcat sideband. Now, I checked it out, and I got great SWRs, but I'm only getting a 2-watt dead key and no swing. Does that mean it's set up for an amp?
No, I don't know why it's only putting out 2 watts. Does that thing got adjustable power on it?
Yeah, the RF's all the way up. I'd have to go inside to tweak it up.
Yeah, that's unless somebody's had their fingers in it already. I mean, did you buy it like that right out of the box, or did somebody set it up for you?
I bought it used, and I thought maybe it's they had it set for 2 watts to drive an amp.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably right about where you want to put it.
But what I didn't understand was the no swing.
Well, you probably got an average reading meter, so you're not going to see much swing, but I don't know. It sounds real good. I guess you had to start the mic gain up all the way?
Yeah, we did that Sunday. But I'm gonna try to get a power mic.
Yeah, that'll help you, because you sound very much like a stock mic.
That's it right now, the Bearcat?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's clear. Just could use a little bit more punch.
Yeah, it's a 980 SSB.
I've seen pictures of them, of course, but never had one.
It's not bad. I like it.
It's too new for me.
Yeah, too new for me.
Speaking of that, on Marketplace, there's a Pace 23-channel sideband bass unit for $70.
Is it the 1000B?
Yeah, if it works, grab it for that price.
Hang on, I'll check.
If it's a Pace 1000D for that price, yeah, grab that sucker.
Your picofarads on picofarad.
Oh no, what happened? What, am I off frequency now?
No, you just cut out.
I didn't see any cutouts.
You keyed up and started to say something, and then you unkey, or it stopped.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't change nothing and didn't see nothing change. I seem to be transmitting with my transmit, so I don't know. But now I completely and utterly lost my train of thought.
Derailed.
Yeah, that's a 1000B. It's up in Quakertown.
For $70, if it works, grab it.
Yeah, that's not a bad price. If it's in good cosmetic shape.
It could use a bit of cleaning up. I don't want it, but if anybody's interested, there's a old Johnson Messenger on there for $30 too.
Yeah, well, it depends if it's a tube one or a solid state. Now, it seems like every radio Johnson ever made, they called him a messenger. It's just what model messenger.
I don't remember the model number, but I know that it was a tube.
If it's a 223 or one of the white face or black face, they can sound really, really good. But if they're whacked out, they're hard to unwhack.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that Bearcat's way too new for me. I'm using a radio that has six channels.
Oh man.
Yeah. The radio ain't at least 40 years old. I'm not interested.
I think this one is probably over 60.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true.
I got a 1971 Lafayette here.
Now that's more our speed.
What model?
That's the Micro.
Oh, the Micro 23?
Yeah.
Ah, the little tiny version. I like that radio. So no frills radio, no meter or nothing, but back, in that time period, that was a really tiny radio.
Yeah, I know Lafayette had a good rep.
I love Lafayette. I missed them. I miss them. I miss Radio Shack.
I freaking love Radio Shack.
Yeah. I could spend hours there if I would have had a pocket full of money that I didn't have then.
They used to be a dealer for the Heathkit kids.
Yeah.
And if I'd have only known then what I know now about electronics, I'd have been a lot more dangerous inside a Radio Shack. I knew I liked it, I knew I appreciated it, but I didn't know what to do with a lot of it.
I did. Back in 90, I was going through a divorce. And I went to Radio Shack. I got enough shit to bug my own phone to have it transmit to me in the parking lot across the street.
Yeah, way to spend a divorce at Radio Shack. We have answers.
Bugging my own phone. So I could sit across the street and listen.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's a shame they didn't have cordless phones back when I was a teenager dating. You know, I could have spied on my girlfriends and stuff and see what they were saying about me.
Well, it wasn't a cordless phone. When she picked up, it started transmitting on FM.
Ah, a bug.
Yeah, I got the exact date that she was going to serve me with protection from abuse papers, and I got her talking to her lawyer about how stupid I was.
Yeah, you really get a good insight on who you're dealing with when they don't think you can hear them.
Yeah, I mean, you can't use it in court, but information is valuable nonetheless.
Especially if certain things are revealed that you didn't know about.
To be forewarned is to be forearmed.
That was great, though. Just walked in there and just started picking shit off the shelf.
Speaking of Radio Shack, I'm on my Radio Shack 427 tonight. There you go. That's a gooder. Yeah, I like it. The receive seems pretty good. Yeah. That's one of the series of radios. The 421, the 422, and the 427 were all really good in the receive category. And it's got the tone for the speaker, so that's nice. Yeah.
There's a couple of Navajo sideband basses on the marketplace.
Looking through my Sams to see if I thought I had a Sams for the Utica here, but I don't. But the Utica Town and Country 3 is in the 1965 Sams, so you know this is older than that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm browsing through here. There's a Lafayette 23 channel all tubes. It's over in Jersey, though, for $20.
I was going to run my Lafayette Couchstat 25, but I'll just run this Midland.
I decided to run something that I haven't run in a while, so I'm running the Utica.
Yeah, you haven't run that in a while. I'm just glad you got a crystal on frequency.
It took 15 picofarads to get the crystal to pull down.
That was too high.
Yeah, I was practically on channel 14.
Oh my God, you really had to pull that down.
Yeah, much more than 15 picofarads from experience. The crystals won't oscillate if you try and pull them anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, you pull them too far and they stop, and then you're like,
But I did it before, so I kind of figured I'd be able to do it again, but I didn't remember if it was this crystal or the crystal that died on me. But I knew I could do it if I got lucky, and I got lucky. I got a little plastic dish that I keep various little picofarad caps in for playing with this one crystal for the various radios.
yeah, it's good to keep it in, nearby.
Some things become important.
right, we'll try again. Where's Wayne?
Where's Wayne?
Yeah, Wayne was around on Sunday. I'm here. I'm still listening. There he is.
Hiya, Wayne.
Hi. I thought I heard you yelling earlier, but I had a little duty to take care of.
Well, hopefully everything's all taken care of and you got some spare time to key down on the classic radio roundup.
Yes. No problem.
Sunday was a fun-filled day with the supervisor, and I didn't get home till late. By the time I got home, I was too tired to play a radio, so that's where I was on Sunday.
I kind of figured that. Dave and I took care of business. That's right. And Mr. Fix-It.
Well, I figured the frequency would still get occupied, even if I wasn't there to occupy it myself. But, yeah, we took a drive to Chemung, New Jersey for lunch.
Chemung? Oh, wow. We played softball down there already.
Wife won a gift card to the Piccadilly Inn. So we had to use up the gift card. And like, well, let's kill the day. And we did.
We ate dinner there after one of our softball tournaments.
Well, we figured that that it was a complete wash. Once we figured out the fuel burnt and the tolls paid, that the gift card, well, we got a free lunch out of the deal. But, you know, it was a wash.
Yeah, but it was a chance to spend the day out and about and doing something enjoyable, so it was well worth it.
Yeah, we spent quality time. I got to drive Zippy on some, you know, different places, and yeah, it was bright and sunny, so yeah, it wasn't bad.
And the food there wasn't bad either, if I remember right.
Well, the food was really good, and the staff was really good. Pleasant people.
That's always a good thing.
There used to be a lot of really classy restaurants around here, but they all closed up, and now they just serve bar food everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of places closed up because they can't afford to pay people anymore. Not without raising the prices so high that people won't want to go.
And even the places that do, they're shorthanded anyway.
And because nobody wants to work at these kind of jobs anymore. They figure, I can get a job driving for Amazon. That pays better.
Or I can sit at home and do nothing and get paid better.
Yeah, that's a good deal if you can find it.
Well, some folks seem to manage to find that deal. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
Yeah, well, you got to work first before you can get unemployment.
It doesn't seem to be a criteria anymore. At least, well, not for me.
Well, yeah, you can retire too with a pension.
Yeah, but with my luck, I'll outlive my pension.
Well, that's always a danger. Is your pension close-ended? It doesn't just keep going on, for life?
I took the lump sum and invested it because the way I looked at it, that money's going to lose value over the years. I'd rather take the lump sum and invest it and then increase value.
That's true. that all depends on how long you're going to live. I mean, if you live to be 100 years old, then maybe it would have been better to take the annuity.
Yeah, and with Biden inflation, in a couple of years, it was already worth less than half of what it was 2 years prior. So no. And the other danger of that is, if I died before the wife, it stops. So she wouldn't have nothing. This way, she has something if I die before her.
Okay.
Which, in all likelihood, is going to happen. I know she's going to outlive me just so she can spend my money.
Well, women typically do outlast men. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part.
And then when I'm dead, she can quit talking about me, but she'll have my money.
There you go. She can go vacation on the beach somewhere.
Nah, she'd more likely go to the mountains. She's not a beach person, unless it's Aruba. Maybe she'll just spend her time in Aruba.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When I say beach, I'm not talking Jersey Shore. I'm talking, Caribbean or something.
Yeah, that's more her speed. Her slumming it to the beach, she'll do would be, Florida Gulf Coast, but her preference would be a Caribbean beach.
I'll take the Florida Gulf Coast over anything.
Florida Gulf Coast is pretty nice.
I was stationed in Fort Walton Beach for 7 years.
Well, that's not too shabby.
That was awesome. Still got a little bit of fall, but no winter.
Yeah, I can do without winter. And this one, as far as winter goes, it hasn't been too bad. We had like a couple weeks of winter, and that's it so far.
Yeah, it's supposed to turn cold again, though, by the middle of the month, and then the threat of snow comes back.
Yeah, well, as always, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, February into early March, we could get some doozy snowfalls. We have historically, anyway.
I know we have, but I can still be optimistic about it. But yeah, you usually get this little false, sense of security break in the middle of February. It warms up, and then the other shoe drops.
Yeah.
So don't put away your snow blowers just yet.
I never do. I don't summarize my snowblower until like late April or something.
My snowblower is always ready to go. It's just a matter of convenience of getting it out or not.
Yeah. I mean, that's technically true. I mean, even when my snowblower's laid up for the summer, I mean, all I have to do is pour some gas in the tank and give it a couple of good pulls and it'd fire right up.
You don't have an electric start on yours?
I do, but I don't have to use it.
I don't have to use it either, but I always do.
The time it takes me to get an electrical cord and plug it in and all, I can just give it a couple of yanks and it starts right up.
Oh, that's right. Yours isn't 9 horse. Mine's a 9-horse motor. That's a lot of pull.
Mine's an 8-horse motor.
I have an 8-horse motor, and it's a lot easier to pull than my 9.
Well, maybe the 9 doesn't have as efficient of a compression release then.
If it has one at all.
Most of them do. Otherwise, you'd never be able to start the damn things.
I plug it in the wall and hit the button. Fires right up every time.
Yeah.
Well, I got an outlet right out on the front porch. It's just a matter of bringing the cord out with me is all.
Yeah. One time I did have to use the electric starters when I took it up to the mountains 2 years ago. They had almost 30 inches of snow that I had to get cleared out, but by the time I drove up there, I think it was only in the teens, and the wheel had gotten so thick, I went to pull it, and it was like pulling molasses, and I just could not start it. So I said, I gotta have to get the extension cord out, hook it up to the starter, and that finally started it.
Yeah, that's the thing, it's when it's ice cold, it's down in the 20s or whatever, I don't feel like pulling that thing because I just feel like it doesn't spin fast enough. So why go through all that? And I'm already layered up in clothes and everything else. It's all I need to do is work up a sweat trying to start the damn thing. It's so easy just to plug it in and hit the button.
Yeah. If it doesn't start on the second pull, that's pretty much what I do, and mine usually does. Starts right up. But it stays in the garage, and the garage is usually in the mid to upper 40s at least most of the winter, unless we really get a cold snap, so the oil doesn't have a chance to really thicken up.
Yeah, mine lives out in the shed, and that's usually, it seems like my shed inside is always colder than it is outside.
Yeah, you wonder how that can be, but yeah. But yeah, I would use the electric start if it was, if I was in that situation.
Yeah, by the time you go to use it, it's already been sitting there for a week or more, or months or whatever. Below freezing temperatures by the time you get to it. I ain't pulling it.
I don't blame you. Not in that situation.
Now, if I'm taking a break or I go and refuel it or that kind of thing and go back out to restart it and it's already hot, yeah, I'll pull it.
Yeah, because then the oil's nice and thin, so it spins easy.
Yeah, now we've moved on to classic snowblower roundup.
Yeah. I'll check mine out this spring because a couple of years ago I replaced a bunch of stuff. The little blade at the bottom that scrapes the snow. The original one had worn down and it was starting to dig into the snowblower chute itself. I put a new blade on it, and I put new runners on the front. And these new runners have wheels on them, so they don't just slide along the driveway and wear down.
That blade is flippable. I just flipped my blade around.
Mine's not. It's got a bunch of screws on one end of it. And it wore down so much that it was wearing into the frame of the snowblower. So I bought another one for it. It actually wore one of the screws down so much I had to replace it.
Oh, you waited too long. Yeah, I've flipped mine. I actually probably only got a couple more years and then I'll have to replace it, but I've flipped it.
I think I had probably 20 or 21 years under its belt when I did that, when I finally replaced it.
Yeah, I got my blower when we moved in here, and I think last year I finally flipped the blade. I'm like, yeah, it's getting a little thin. And it certainly wasn't straight across anymore, so I flipped it.
Yeah, well, I'll keep an eye on it this time, and I'll make sure I change it before it gets too far down again. Of course, I did the belts and the friction plate, and that's all taken care of.
I had to do that, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago now. I had to split the thing like an egg, take it all apart because one of my sprockets was slipping. So while I broke it open like an egg to get all in there to the chains and sprockets, it was a pain in the butt. I renewed everything. Got new bearings in there, new chains, new sprockets, all that stuff. Put new belts on it at that time. So I know that's all good for a while.
I was surprised. Even after 20-some years of use, the belts are still in pretty good shape. I replaced them anyway, but the 3 belts in there were all pretty damn good still. The friction plate though you could tell that needed to be changed. That was starting to crack and everything else. Friction wheel, I should say.
Yeah, the friction wheel.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm scratching my head trying to think out. What's he talking about? Friction plate.
Yeah, it's a little rubber wheel that runs against the friction plate.
Yeah, it's basically the transmission or the gear change.
Yeah.
Clutch and gear change all in one. Further out on the wheel or further in on the wheel? How fast are you going to go?
it's a simple way to do it. It works.
Hello, UGY.
Good evening there, Mr. Petey, Mr. Dave. I had an old Craftsman I had for 20-some years. I forget what snowstorm it was. Of course, you know, it's always in the middle of a snowstorm. But I had some issues. It fell apart, kind of, sort of. Trying to remember exactly what it was. The linkage in there, which was holding the pulleys. The metal kind of rusted out and kind of gave away, bent over, and all that. But I wound up fixing it again. But in the end, I went and bought a new snowblower. But I wound up fixing it again, and sold it for X amount of dollars. After all, it was 20-some years old. I knew somebody else that wanted it. But it was a good fix, though, you know. I had a welder and materials at work where I used to work at, so we made it up there and put it back together again. Got it running. I didn't need two of them, so off with that one they went.
There you go, man.
Did you check in tonight on medium wave? Did I hear you in there or no?
No, I just got in here now. It's kind of tough for me to make it that time. You know, I don't know when I'll float in, so I'm like kind of involved in other stuff. But no, I did not. How was it?
There was a lot of folks in there, and there was like this double, triple kind of situation. And I swear I heard your call sign, and I called out for you a couple of times, and like, well, maybe I was hearing things. So you confirmed I was hearing things.
Yeah, you were hearing things. Because I think you would hear me if I did. But no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I missed the boat on that one.
No, I know what I hear you, but let's face it though, there's some strapping signals there on that frequency.
Yeah, did they get involved with their what would you call that? Their political Java?
No, we didn't go down that road, but we did. Dave would be interested. We did talk about some pirate radio, and it seems like, well, the one guy in there for sure, and then Dave for sure. They know former and current pirate broadcasters, it would seem.
The apple doesn't fall far from that tree, you know.
No. They know who some of them people are, and that came up in conversation for a little bit. Some of the, you know, bygone stations, some of the current stations, some of the players and actors.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
No, me either. I would imagine that, you know, the AM crowd, you know, they probably make themselves known or are known or whatever the case. But yeah, I don't think it's a huge community. You know, word gets out.
I would not be surprised if most of those pirate broadcasters are hams.
No, I wouldn't be either. In fact, I would be more surprised if they weren't.
I'd go with that. I got removed from a Facebook group today because I called somebody a sad ham. Oh, no.
What'd you call him?
A sad ham.
Jeez, I can't imagine why they would do that.
And a hammy, and a hamster, and maybe a few other things. I can't remember.
Well, one guy was talking on there. We were laughing. He was on some AM, you know, AM ham radio forum on Faceplant. He got himself removed because he posted a picture of some homebrew transmitter he made, but there was a Cobra 19 in the background.
What the heck? That's crazy. So you really hammed it up, did you there, Joker? You hammed it up pretty good, did you?
They said it violated the terms of being in the forum. You posted CB equipment. I'm like, dude, I didn't do it on purpose.
Some of them are just too sensitive.
Yeah, that's a little sensitive. It's not like the guy did it on purpose. It just happened to get into the picture, you know. Photo bomb.
Oh, brother.
The big oops. Yeah, nah, no worries. How many pictures you've seen? It doesn't matter, but you know what I'm saying. You see them all the time on QRZ.
Oh, I know. It's too funny. I love it when they're selling, you know, a ham rig on a ham forum and the thing's dialed up at 11 meters. Some people can't take a joke. Show you right.
Show you who?
That's right.
Hear about that fire down there in Lansdowne?
Lansdowne?
All I saw was I was eating dinner and the TV was on in the corner. I couldn't hear anything, but a show on a fire and cops injured, responding, or shot at, or shooting, or I don't know. I'm like, why are they showing a fire and talking about a shooting? I have no idea, but I'm sure I'll hear about it.
Oh yeah. They got a domestic call at that particular address and said the call said there was an 11-year-old girl got shot. So they went in to go get her. They check out the call and all. Next thing you know, 2 cops got shot. Then I don't know. I'm kind of speculating on this part, and I probably shouldn't, but I will anyway. I figured they threw a flash grenade in there and kind of started the fire. And unfortunately, the cops got shot, like I said, when they couldn't get the girl out. That's the last I heard. So whoever the shooter and the girl didn't appear to get out, and that thing burnt down to the ground.
That reminds me of the Osage Avenue thing.
Move. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that was a little bit different. They dropped a bomb.
Yeah, it was basically a concussion bomb, but they had flammable liquid stored there, and that place went up like a tinderbox.
They had more than flammable liquids. They had more ammunition than a army ammo dump.
Yeah.
That little girl got out.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, the last report I seen, she was in the hospital, but they had no updates.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good news. I'm glad she got out. That's a good deal there. From last I heard, I was watching on TV. They had no knowledge of whereabouts the girl was. They just assumed she was in there.
The report I was watching said she was the one actually called.
Yeah, see, none of that information was available when I was watching. That was about, I guess about 4:30, 4:45 was the last I was watching it.
Yeah, I was watching it about 6 because I was kind of worried. My daughter lives down there.
Yeah, world's going crazy, man. It's going bonkers.
Yeah, wait till November.
Boy, that's going to be a shit show.
Either way, I guess, huh? No matter who wins.
No, somebody's going to be pissed.
I've been over in Honeybrook for a while back. Skippy?
Over in Honeybrook, the police were going in to respond to somebody, and the guy shot back at the police. So the SWAT team and everything showed up. Threw in some kind of device in there, whether it was a smoke or a flashbang, started the house on fire, and eventually set the guy's ammo on fire and going off. So then they were farming in more police. They didn't know what was going on yet. But the news media story was the guy set his own ammunition on fire.
Yeah, news media, huh?
Well, the police were in a really bad predicament at that point. I was listening to it on the scanner. It sounds like the same news story that you were watching. But I had the scanner on, but I didn't pick anything up for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess as they investigate more and more, you'll hear this, you'll hear that, and I don't know. Will they ever admit that would actually start the fire? Who knows?
Oh, of course not, because, that's going to make them look bad, so they have to change the news story.
That's right. Oh, it has to fit a narrative.
That's what I was telling Green Dog about, like when they have these explosions at this titanium plant near me all the time, at least once a year, a major one. But the news story always is, that there were no injuries. If you had them listen to it on the scanner, they have at least 20 injuries.
Yeah, I can't believe what the news media tells you. What can you believe in?
I guess getting to the point now you can't even believe what your own eyes tell you because they can fake videos and everything else now. So even what you think you see may not be what you saw.
I believe classic radio roundup. Not much else.
I know a lot of propaganda on this place.
Yeah, about all radios.
Yeah, well, I'll let it go at that. I could just be a computerized version of myself over here.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I'm not artificial intelligence. I'm artificial stupidity.
Yeah, I was going to say, artificial intelligence is no match for natural stupidity.
The intelligence part's the stretch, I know. It's coming. It's coming quicker than you think. There's already a ton of stuff out there. It's crazy.
Right. You can't even believe what your eyes are showing you anymore.
That's right.
We could fix this stupidity. Just take all the warning labels off of everything and let nature take its course.
That would certainly fix a lot of it, I swear. Let that or natural selection take care of it. In 1940s and 50s vehicles, they put in the owner's manual how to adjust your valves and set your points and your timing and stuff like that. Now they tell you not to drink the battery acid.
Yeah, I've seen that meme going around and around, but I can't recall ever seeing that warning in any owner's manual I've seen recently.
Oh, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Now you're going to make me go look, but I'm sure it tells you all kinds of do not do's that should be common sense. Considering now most batteries are sealed anyhow, like you'd have to work at it to try and drink it.
Why would anybody ever want to drink a battery anyway? That just blows my mind. Why would anybody even think to do that? Unless it's a TikTok challenge or something.
Well, I would have never thought somebody would try and eat a Tide Pod, challenged or not.
These kids, man, they get hypnotized by this TikTok nonsense, and if they get dared, they got to do it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Chinese Communist Party is sitting back and laughing.
Yeah, that's who benefits by this.
Yeah, congressmen are finally getting tired of that. I was watching C-SPAN hearing on that
Did you hear about the college kids taking butt shots?
TikTok and everything. And I wasn't aware that the whole TikTok app was to make, Americans commit suicide.
They take liquor and pump it up their butt, and apparently they get a buzz quicker.
Come back with that C-SPAN comment again.
Yeah, our congressmen are finally getting tired of TikTok there. They're like on the verge of banning it. Or what their idea is, they're going to regulate it so heavily that they're going to, stop their whole agenda. And I wasn't aware of the fact that the whole Chinese Communist government created TikTok so Americans will commit suicide. So that was news to me. I mean, I knew it told them to do stupid stuff, but the guy that owns it, it's a, link to.
You waiting on me?
No, somebody's talking.
Well, yeah, it's to create Americans to, do stupid stuff to commit suicide. And they're finally going to possibly get banned.
Now, I fully believe that the Chinese Communist Party invented the TikTok so people would do stupid stuff and anything to destroy the social norms and the fabric of the United States of America. That part I'm not surprised about. Where I do have a problem, even though I don't like TikTok or anything like that, I also do not like bans of any kind. So, I mean, if we're a free country, you should be able to do what you want. I don't like excessive regulation. I don't like bans of any kind. However, I don't like TikTok either, but I still don't believe it should be banned or regulated. I think people just should be made aware what the real deal is and, judge for yourself. But people ain't smart enough to figure that part of it out on their own. That's the problem. But I don't like bans. Not in a supposedly free country.
Yeah, right, but the whole thing is you can't jeopardize somebody else's rights. So, and their whole goal is basically.
See, there we go, right back to the warning label thing. Stupidity should hurt.
That's what they're trying to do. So that violates their right to life. But, I know what you're saying. It's because they're too stupid, But the Chinese outsmarted their stupidity and got themselves to do it themselves.
Well, the thing is, there's always terms and agreements, or terms of service that nobody ever reads. So probably deep down inside somewhere there is what's going on. Unfortunately, nobody ever reads that stuff.
Yeah, but if it violates, everybody's rights, then that's void.
Yeah, and your rights end where mine begin.
Yeah, but you freely enter into something. So theoretically, if you sign on to something, yeah, I guess you could say it's violating your rights, but you've signed on to it. It wasn't forced upon you.
No, because you're wrong, because if it violates their rights, then you're not allowed to do it. See, that's where you don't understand that you're wrong. If it violates,
Yep.
or jeopardizes them, that's where you're in violation. So that's where it can be bad.
Unless you're the U.S. government, who violates my rights on a daily basis.
Yeah, well, that's because the people let them get away with it.
Yeah, but if you try and push, to exercise certain rights, it doesn't matter if you actually have that right in the constitutional sense or not. They're still going to arrest you.
Yeah, it's Declaration of Independence,
That's what they did with the January 6th guys.
Yeah, the people are too stupid to understand all that.
Just for a simple example, I went to New Jersey for lunch on Sunday, and I had to give up my constitutional right to protect myself and my family by entering the state of New Jersey or risk getting arrested.
Yeah, I know, it's a shame. It's, you should be able to, sue their New Jersey state government, over that, but unfortunately, other people are too dumbed down by that fake news and everything that they don't even understand your right to defend your own life.
Yeah, and that's the problem. We've, too many people have let them get away with it in the name of safety. That's really what it's all about. Well, we're making you safe. You don't need to protect yourself. Okay, well, who's going to protect me when the thug, holds a gun to my head and I can't protect myself? What am I going to do? Dial 911? The police already had said they're not obligated to protect you. I mean, if they're there and they happen to be able to, fine. But they're not obligated to do it.
You know, the whole funny thing about gun safety is and feeling safe is, if everybody's armed, and they're competent people, actually feel safe. And that's kind of the general census. Everybody's safe. When everybody's unarmed or unsafe.
An armed society is a polite society, but you still got these far lefties who don't want guns anywhere, anyhow, anyway. But they're all ignorant of history, so you're not going to convince them of otherwise. But yeah, an armed society is a polite society, but you can't convince some people of that.
Yeah, I know that's a tough one. It has made progress though, but that is tough. But anyway, sorry I interrupted.
No, it's not an interruption at all. Whatever direction the classic radio roundup takes is as long as it's clean, that's the direction it takes.
Yeah, I personally like Switzerland and wish we could use that as an example, but our home people are just they're brainwashed by their phone or whatever.
Well, a lot of people don't know actual history and the reasons for the founding of this country and why it's different than any other before it. It's all completely been lost, and we've let the federal government take too much power that they were never supposed to have. It was supposed to all be the state's power, and the federal government was only supposed to do a few certain jobs, which they seem to have forgotten about and want to get into everything else.
Yeah, their one and only job is to protect our rights as citizens, and they don't even do that anymore.
Right. Protect our rights, protect our borders, and regulate interstate commerce. Full stop. Yeah. Utica, town and country.
That's right.
All right, we're all going to write in Spitfire for governor, or not governor, for president.
I'd be a governor. I don't know if I want to be the president. not after the way they beat up the last good one. Well, they'll just beat me up.
Yeah, it's a thankless job.
Because I agreed with everything you said so far.
It is a thankless job, but if you play it right, you could go in, with a few $100,000 in the bank and come out a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, well, you don't have to go to Congress for that.
Take a small vacation to China.
Yeah, or cozy up to some Ukrainian oil barons or something.
I think I'll just move to Belize and raise alpacas with my mother.
Mom wants to do
that. In the past, what was that? The first term of the what was that? 08 or something? That's what I told my mom. I said, Mom, let's just move to Belize and raise alpacas, and she was all for it.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
There's a lot of money in alpaca fur.
Yeah. But that's all alpaca poop you got to clean up.
Yeah, alpaca poop around the ranch house can't be much worse than dog poop around the ranch house.
Hey, you probably sell it as fertilizer or something. Money in their fur? Don't they have wallets? What do they eat?
I don't know. They're vegetarians. They eat grasses and hay and stuff.
Oh, okay. Damn vegans.
Hey, cows eat grass and corn. That makes steak plant-based.
That's right.
I saw that too, and I agree.
That's right.
Now, them alpacas, my wife's best friend has about 8 of them. And she's got an entire barn full of that fur because she can't get rid of it.
Well, I guess the market fell out on that since 2008.
Well, the processing costs you an arm and a leg.
Who says you got to make money at it?
Well, that's the whole point, man. You got to survive.
Mom would just be happy to have alpacas as pets.
Yeah, she's an animal person, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's all you need then.
When I was a little kid, she had a llama.
Did it spit at you?
It absolutely did. My mom has always had crazy critters. Raccoons, llamas, goats and sheep and horses. Oh, yeah.
She thinks she is Ellie Mae.
She probably would have got along real well with Ellie Mae.
Yeah, sitting out there by the cement pond.
That's right, the cement pond.
I always wanted a bobcat.
Bobcat.
She had a lynx.
Super lynx.
Too.
Not a super lynx, just a lynx. If she saw some poor critter hurt on the side of the road, she would. Yeah, she didn't care if you were going to rear end her. She'd stop, pull over, and pick up the critter.
She either nurse it back to health or throw it on the grill for tonight's dinner.
Squirrels, raccoons, possum, you name it.
The old possums. Haven't seen them around for a while.
Because they're playing possum.
Got to go out at night.
I'll tell you what, they are underrated. Possums are. They can survive I don't know how many rattlesnake bites. That's where they get the anti-venom from. They eat ticks, all kinds of stuff, and they just have no known predator.
Yeah, they're very beneficial to the ecosystem.
Yes, they are. They may be scary looking sometimes, but they're very good animals.
And they're harmless to people. They're afraid of you. They don't want to bother with you.
I think they're the only native, U.S. native marsupial.
Hang out on Classic Radio Roundup, and it's just like the Wild, Wild Kingdom.
Well, you never know what you're going to hear on Classic Radio Roundup. It could be snowblower maintenance, could be political assassinations, or raising critters.
And the occasional electronics repair and troubleshooting.
When in doubt, get the hammer out.
That's right. Get the hammer out. The hammer jammer.
Utica, Town and Country.
I like the looks of that Utica Town and Country 3. That's a pretty sharp looking radio.
Yeah, it is. Whenever I seen one for sale, though, they're pricey.
Yeah, it's because they're kind of rare now, you know. That's a shame, you know, all these older companies that were really, really big shots in the 60s are long gone, you know, Demco, Utica, Polycom, you know, there's a lot of really cool radios back then.
That thing's got a really fat final tube, the Town and Country 3.
Bigger. Kind of like that General Radio telephone. That one's got the big fat tube in it. It's got a big plate resistor in it to knock it down to 4 watts. But if you jump that resistor out, it puts out 25 or something. Bigger. Bigger.
Hey, you want to talk about a fat tube? When I was in the military, worked on MSC 54 bands, and there was this thing called a klystron tube that weighed 30 pounds.
Wow, we're talking CB radios here. Yeah, it's a 6GJ5, big fat tube for a CB radio.
We used to fight for those damn broken ones because they had these magnets on them. And you put one, they were strong as hell. You put one underneath one of the metal shop chairs, and when the guy sat down, it erased all his credit cards.
Oh, nice.
Way hell getting it back off the chair, though.
Yeah, the 6GJ5 there, Bagger, has a regular plate cap top on it.
That's what's in the Utica 3?
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, it only has a top view picture of it, but it looks like a 6146 kind of looking tube, looking at it from the top. I don't know if it's that big or not.
That does seem to be a little beefy for a CB radio.
Yeah, I'll bet there's some kind of resistance jumper for that thing to make more power.
I know the general radio telephone, was it the 12, I guess, or 11 or whatever? That one, for if you wanted to use it for export, they'll tell you how to jump out this resistor, and it puts out 25 watts. Wow, there you go. I gotta wonder how many domestic, United States CB radio versions of that somebody inadvertently jumped out. Putting out 25 watts, you were the king of the block back then.
There it is, 6GJ5 in my book, horizontal deflection amplifier. Let's see what kind of specs do they give on this thing.
It's a sweep tube. Okay.
Yeah, 9-pin, base 9-pin, E988. Plate tip on the base. What? Exhaust tip on base? What? Top cap. Yeah, top cap C1, C2, C3. It's a beam power pentode.
Yeah. I mean, it's got 3 grids.
Doesn't give me no specs on it like all these other tubes. Hang on. Oh, there they are. Hang on. $17.5 plate dissipation.
Wow, that doesn't sound like a lot, but somewhere along the line I read that the plate dissipation is not really what the tube puts out. That's current it sinks or whatever. It'll put out more than what the plate dissipation says.
Yeah, that's come to be my understanding. That's just sort of what it'll dissipate, but that doesn't mean it'll actually put out more than what the plate dissipation is. It's a reference guide, if you will. But yeah, 17.5 watts. And let's see. Peak positive plate voltage max 6,500 volts. What? Peak negative plate voltage 1,500. DC supply. There we go. DC supply. It'll take 770 volts.
Yeah, sounds a little high. 700 volts sounds about right.
But typical operation, that's its maximum. Its typical plate voltage is 250.
Yeah, in a television, I guess that's what you'd see.
It says its amplification factor is 4.4.
4.4 dB?
I don't know. That's all these tubes just say amplification factor, whatever it is, and they're always something like that. It doesn't tell any more than 4.4. What it 4.4 watt? I don't know. I guess whatever goes into it, it'll amplify it 4.4 times.
Well, that's probably what, 6 dB? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty big tube. It's fat and reasonably tall.
Yeah, I mean, compare that to a 6BQ5, what its dissipation is on. You know, you kind of know what you can get out of a 6BQ5, but so you imagine that bigger tube in there, you know you're going to do better than that.
It's 1.5 inches in diameter and 3.25 inches tall. 3.5 inches tall, including the plate cap.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I saw that in one of my tube CBs, I knew I had something. Came in 6 volt, 12 volt, and 17 volt variations. Stay around long enough, you never know what pops up on the classic radio roundup.
Yeah, snowblowers to politics to animals to tubes. Now we're back on track.
It happens.
I remember back in the late 60s when I was a kid, the TV repairman coming over had that big case of tubes. I bet that freaking case is worth a mint right now.
Yeah, especially if it had some good sweep tubes in it.
I watched a guy on YouTube making his own tubes.
You know, I'm pretty fair at fabricating things. I don't know if I could fabricate my own tube.
He did a whole step-by-step how-to. I don't know if the damn thing worked. It lit up, but I don't know if it actually did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, if I could fabricate my own, I'd go into production of 6 LQ6s and put them on eBay.
Can't be that hard. The Russians are doing it.
Yeah, but the Russians never stopped doing it.
True enough.
They had vacuum tubes in their aircraft because they knew they were EMP proof.
That's a good point with the upcoming annihilation.
We stopped using tubes in aircraft in the 1960s. They were still doing it up into the 1990s.
Maybe the old ways are the best.
Well, the true audiophiles and the guitar guys, they swear by their vacuum tubes just as much as a lot of us radio guys do, the AMers anyway.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, guitar amps, yeah, you have to give up blood for a tube guitar amp.
Yeah, all the real audiophile guys, they're all going back to tube amplifiers. My brother-in-law and my neighbor are both guitar guys. Their amps got tubes in them.
Yeah. It's more natural sounding.
Hey, some of those old Macintosh amps are going for like $5,000.
I had to school my brother-in-law. He's like, oh, my amp. I got a soft tube. I need a new tube. I can't find EL84s anywhere. I said, here's a 6PQ5, but it's not an EL84. Like, trust me, put it in there. It's going to work fine, but it's not an EL84. It's like, relax, dude. It's the same thing. Oh, I don't know. I gave it tube. He took it home. I ain't heard him cry since. So there.
I'm a 6L6 guy myself.
Yeah, they're good tubes. Got them in my D201.
Yeah, but the 5885 is better than the 6L6. That's what I got in my transmitter.
Is that the industrial version of the 6L6?
Yeah, it puts out 5 more watts each.
Yeah, I also like the 6505, but those are a little more expensive generally.
And you can use a 5885 in place of a 6L6, but you can't necessarily use a 6L6 in place of a 6885 or 5885.
Had a 5881, but it wasn't quite enough output, I guess, for me. I don't know. I guess I could have rebiased it, but I sold it, went back to the 6L6.
They're the exact same pinout. It's just the 81 5881. It puts out a little more power than the 6L6. So you can swap the one way, but not necessarily the other way.
Yeah, as I tried to put my mullets in the 5881 amp, and that little, it was fine, but just that little notch key wasn't fitting in, and it chipped that little key part. So that didn't work.
Yeah, I got a transmitter here, two transmitters that both use the 5881s. But the one of them has 6L6s in it, and it doesn't put out the same audio power as the 5881s.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I could see that on the radio stuff. I was talking guitar amp stuff. I'm the full-blown 6L6 tone guy.
Well, it's doing the same exact job. It's an audio. It's not RF. It's the audio amplification.
I gotcha.
But instead of the audio going out to a loudspeaker, the audio goes to the plate of the radio frequency final. Well, actually, it goes to the grid. You got to have a radio receiver to hear the audio that they produce.
Now, could you put a KT88 in one of your radios?
Oh, that sounds familiar. I'd have to look it up or be familiarized. I've heard that somewhere before, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, much bigger tube. It's like the EL34, sound, but much more power output.
Well, if it's the same pinout, then everything probably could plug it in and use it. Yep.
Because that's what some of the, extreme audiophiles go to that KT88 or talk about that. But I never got involved in one of them or tried one.
I have radios here that use EL84s for the audio and EL84s for the RF final.
Yeah, my dad has the 6BQ5.
That 6BQ5 is a good tube. It's used in lots of places. I got an old broadcast shortwave receiver that uses it's actually a AM/FM shortwave stereo, and it uses a pair of those, one in each channel.
Yeah, I think my Lafayette Comstats have the 6BQ5 output.
Yeah, them tubes are all over the place.
Yeah, all the Panasonic chassis radios use them.
Yeah, that's right. I think the Utica does too.
This one you're on now?
I think it's the audio. I don't think it's the final, though. I have to double check that.
Yeah, if I remember right, the Utica uses a more unusual final than what I'm used to seeing. But and again, I guess if it's not a 6BQ5, I think, well, the Browning Mark IIIs and all, they use like something else. I forget what it is, but it's not the BQ5. So yeah, there are a few more odd ones. I think the Tram Titans use like a 6CW8 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember looking up the Utica's tubes when I was, aligning it and stuff. But now memory don't serve, and my tablet's doing video duty, so I can't use that to look it up right here and now. My phone's too far away to grab it. If you got your computer handy there, you can look it up and see what my tube complement is in my Utica Town and Country too.
I can look on CB Tricks, but if they don't have a schematic, then on SOL.
Imagine if you just did a Google search on it, it might come up with a schematic or some info on. Because usually, like, what is it, Retrocom or whatever, they'll put the tube complement in on stuff. Yeah, it's a shame I got the SAMs for the 3, but not the 2. I remember looking it up before. Now that I'm looking at it again, and I realized they're not the same. I thought they might have did like Johnson did, with the white face, black face to the 223. Same tube complement, just with a synthesizer, and I thought they might have done the same thing here, but they didn't. Thank you. Ah, bless me. Ten four, driver.
Roger that.
If I didn't know any better, I think the skip land's starting to pick up a little.
Oh no.
I hear it.
Yeah, that sounds like skip land, don't it?
It's getting ready to throw the mix.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago I was in here, and the Menace from Idaho popped in, and he sounded like he was local, man. He was coming in like S9 with no QSB or anything.
Yeah, it's on and off. It's in and out, up and down. But when it's right, it is right. And that's just the way it is. And you got to deal with it.
Yeah, I like it when it works, then the guy don't sound like he's distant. You think he's a local, and then you find out that he's not.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing like distant local.
Is that like almost close?
Yeah, it's like near Jersey.
You beat me to it.
Sea breeze tonight's nice.
I imagine so. It beats the landfill in the Delaware River.
I tell you some nights, man, the farm field behind the house, whew, they spray, I think it's from the rendering place in Hatfield. They spray the liquid runoff rendering. Man, does it stink.
Yeah. Ooh. There is a Town and Country 2 schematic on CB Tricks. Look at that.
Yeah, that might be where I seen it before.
Let's see what it says here.
That stuff makes, that smell makes stuff grow there, Joker. No, it does. It's got to be really good fertilizer. But, man, you just can't get away from it. It's everywhere when they spray it. I think they do it like 2 to 3 times a year. We call that the valley air. And it hangs out, too. Yeah, then it goes away, and then if you get like a damp or just if the atmosphere just, the warm weather, and it just comes back, and then it just lingers.
Ah, country fresh.
Poppin' fresh.
But the view is really nice.
The view's nice, but hold your nose.
Pretty much.
So what do we got for an audio modulator in a final?
The audio is a 6AQ5.
Woohoo! Another good tube.
The final is not marked. Oh, it's a 6CX8, I guess. But that's halfway between the final and the driver, or the oscillator. There's only 2 tubes in the transmitter. An oscillator and a final. Lots of gain there. Oh, so maybe it's the same tube. Oh, okay, maybe, yeah. Yeah, it's a dual tube. It's a pet tube and a triode, and so you've got a single tube transmitter there.
Wow, that's along the lines of the Metrotech.
Yeah, half of it's the oscillator, the other half's the final. Interesting. Oh, we got a 22K screen grid resistor. Now you can jack that up a little bit and get more power out. Why bother? It's good to have lower power and more modulation.
Yeah, that's right. It puts out plenty of power already. It puts out at like 3 watts.
Now, that's about right for the age.
And I can always make up the rest. Just watch me now. Yeah, knobs are good.
Yeah, especially when you're 1 to 11.
Try not to blow the carbon out of this knob.
You don't burn up the new pots you put in there.
Oh, but they came in pairs.
Yeah, I need about 5 of them just in case.
Yeah, well, they come in pairs when you buy them, so I bought the pair, and I'm like, well, at least I got a spare. I can make the mistake one more time. With my luck, the next time it'll blow something else up.
I'm just annoyed because I'm just running 3 watts of power or whatever in them, and they're still burning traces in them somehow.
Well, they come in pairs for $9, free shipping if you got Amazon Prime.
I got an Amazon gift card. That's even better.
There you go.
My problem is like I was sourcing some parts through Amazon because I got gift cards for it and stuff. But I ended up paying like twice as much as if I went to like a place like Mauser or something.
Yeah, but Mauser, they got like minimum order. You know, if I only needed one $10 part, now I got to come up with another $40 worth of parts to get it shipped.
Oh, really? They won't package another $50.
It's been a while, but I know there was some minimum order, so I only used them when I got it, and it's been a while.
Yeah, it depends on the item.
Yeah, you're not buying one resistor from Mauser.
I was building and working on guitar pedals for a while, and yeah, I had to order like 20 or 30 of the chips or the mounts or the brackets.
Yeah, I've been going to Amazon and finding everything I need anymore, and I get free shipping and usually next day delivery, so that's hard to beat.
Yeah, unfortunately, get a lot of stuff off of Amazon.
Yeah, it's another one of them love-hate relationships. It's just so damn convenient, though.
That's the problem. It's too convenient.
The Utica still sounding the same now as it did when I turned it on.
It's still humming along nicely.
All right, just making sure nothing changed along the way, because it all looks the same here, but you never know.
Believe me, if something radically changed, I'd be the first to tell you.
Yeah, that is true. Even if something didn't radically change.
Well, I have to change enough that I'd notice it.
Yeah, but that's all it takes is for you to notice. That's not necessarily radical.
Well, it's got the Skippy stamp of approval.
Well, there you go. That's all you need.
One tube transmitter. Yeesh.
Yeah, it seems kind of whippy, doesn't it? But it gets the job done. There's enough gain there. You don't need extra stages.
And it still probably cost $200 in 1964.
Probably everything was expensive then, because that radio was hand wired.
Yeah, probably north of $200 for 6 channels. And you probably had to pay extra for crystals. You probably got one pair, and you had to buy anything else you wanted.
Yeah, crystals came afterwards. Back then, people were encouraged to not use too many channels. Just pick a couple and be done with it.
Yeah, even the Metrotech's got 8 channels. This one's only got 6.
Well, that's all you really needed sometimes back in the day, you know. I mean, remember, CB started out as a personal business kind of thing, the way GMRS is today. But so you and your family's business is there. You just run it on one channel, and that's all you needed.
Yeah, and then if you wanted to go elsewhere, you just hit the tunable receiver, and I bet there were at some point people working split and that kind of thing too.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the thing you could do with tunable receivers. You could work split. If your buddy didn't have the channel you had, he could tune in on you, and you could tune in on him, and you could have a conversation.
Yeah, and screw up everybody else that's trying to listen.
Yeah, you can only hear one side. Are you ghost talking? No.
Yeah, that's one thing that these tunable receiver radios got that over all the modern radios. They can work split.
Can you imagine the confusion though? I mean, you're there with talking to somebody else, and you both got tunable receivers, and you're on 2 different channels, and so you're listening to channel 8, and the other guy's listening to you on channel 10, and you're talking back and forth, and somebody's trying to break in there. You're transmitting on 8. And somebody's breaking in there trying to get a break or get your attention, but you can't hear them because you're tuned to channel 10. That could be confusing.
Yeah, and he's getting all mad because he hears you real well and you're not replying.
Yeah, you're ghost talking, but not responding to anybody on 8 because you're listening to channel 10.
So yeah, my 60-year-old radio can work split, but your brand new, Chinese import can't do that.
Some of them can. I think the RCIs can. They got a split function in them.
Yeah, okay, but not like the Bearcat 980 or any of these, real CB radios.
No, it's a Par 95 type accepted radio now.
Yeah, your 2547, it can't work split.
No, it can't.
Not that anybody's gonna, but I can. Even the Demco can work split.
Or split.
Because it's got both crystal tuner and variable tuner.
Yeah. That could work split. The Tram Titans could do it. The Tram D201 could do it. The Brownings could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a few full 23 channel radios that can do it.
Yeah, quite a few actually. The Trams and the Brownings and all. But yeah. I always wondered about like the Brownings and the Tram Titans. They got all 23 channels transmit, so why do they need to do a tunable receive? But I mean, you can listen in between channels and everything else. I guess it was a feature.
So you could work the old 6-channel radios and work in split. But of course, you could tune into the frequencies that the guy had, so you wouldn't have to work split.
The problems we had back in the 1960s. It reminds me of the problem we had when we were kids. Everybody ran around with these little Channel 14 super regenerative walkie-talkies that picked up every channel. I whipped out my father's old metal cased toe ties with the super heterodyne receiver, but they were crystal up for channel 7. And I would talk on that, and the channel 14 walkies could pick me up, but I couldn't pick them up.
You know, back in the 90s, when I had my first Metrotech Pacer, was before I had an export radio, and I used to use that so I could listen in on the A channels.
Yeah, they'll pick up everything.
That's when I first discovered the A channels, and people were using them back then.
Yeah, you can't get away from a super regenerative receiver. It was right in the barn door.
Well, I didn't have that at the time, but I do remember those, as I did have them at one time. But this particular time frame, I remember dialing around and hearing bleed over that I couldn't tune in on. Channel 8, I hear them. Channel 7, I hear them, but I can't tune in on them. Got out the old Metrotech and was able to tune them in.
They're on 7A. It might have been me.
Yeah, well, that's when I first discovered, hey, there's more channels in here, the ones I can't get to. How do I get to those?
Yeah, back in the, I was in the late 70s anyway. That was our, we used to call that the Hershey channel.
Good buddies, 1-6. Man, this Utica's got a sensitive receiver, man. I hear everything going on out there.
That's a good thing. That's the nice thing about the tube radios. They seem to have a better signal to noise ratio. You could hear, maybe they weren't quite, they weren't more sensitive, but there was a lot less noise. So your apparent sensitivity was definitely better. You know, you got less noise interfering with the signals you're trying to hear.
I can understand what people are saying with no signal. All I got to do is have decent enough audio, and I can understand them with no signal. It's got to be a good radio. It's got a gold face with a chrome case, so you know it's good.
What radio's that?
Utica, Town and Country too.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know the Town and Country 1 was an all chrome case radio. That was kind of sharp looking. Had to keep polishing it though to keep your fingerprints on it.
I think the 1 and the 2, there's very minor differences, and I don't remember what they are now, but I know I compared them at one time. But I think they're very similar. Maybe you didn't have an S meter or something like that, or maybe it wasn't tunable receiver on the 1, something like that. But otherwise, I think they look the same. Chrome case, gold face.
The Town and Country 1 was a real bare bones. It was 6 channels, crystal, no tunable, no meter, just a 3-knob radio.
Yes, and that's it. No tunable receiver, no meter. But this is all other respects was the same. This is basically a 3-knob, 6 channels with an S meter and a tunable receiver. So those are the additions. But otherwise, I think it's the same size and otherwise look.
Yeah, my neighbor had one of those once. We talked back in the 70s. It was a bugger because we couldn't get crystals for the receive because it had a bastard IF.
Yeah, that's why I'm lucky I got a 13 crystal and transmit that works, because otherwise I'm out of luck.
Just be glad you don't have to try to find one for the receive side. Be glad you have a tunable.
Yeah, and that's the downfall of that Hallicrafters. There's no tunable. Like, I could probably come up with a transmit crystal, but a receive crystal I got to come up with for that too. And like, yeah, with that weird IF, I'm done for. Still think there's got to be a way to use some kind of DDS VFO or something for that.
For the Hallicrafters.
That's right.
Well, you need two, because you need to run one for the receiver and another one for the transmitter.
Well, if it's not too pricey, it might be something worth considering, because then I could use it on other radios too.
Unless, those things are highly programmable, depending on which ones you're talking about. You could probably get one and have it, programmed with the offset, and then, it puts out one frequency during receive, and then when you transmit, it switches to the other, and, you can get it both with one.
I feel there's a solution there.
It's definitely doable. They say a lot of it is all in programming, and of course, when you start talking about programming, that's like, ugh. I'm not a code guy.
Yeah, I'm not either. But I know people that are.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be able to program a little bit, not to get in trouble like when I built dirt ball busters back in the 80s, but, programming has gone light years ahead of what that was, and, so these newer programming languages, some of them I've never even heard of, let alone know the first thing about trying to code.
Yeah, I still feel like somebody should be making some kind of solid state programmable crystals anymore. You buy these little crystal units, and you can adjust them to the frequency that you need. I just feel like there should be a market for that. They should be available.
Solid state crystal substitutions. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm trying to think how you would need a crystal in it as a reference frequency, I guess, for the whatever PLL or whatever it was.
Well, some kind of baseline 1 meg crystal or whatever, and then you can program it with, I don't know, some kind of something, and then make it output any frequency that you need at any output level that you need.
Well, yeah, it would be a little bigger than what would fit in a crystal socket, though.
With today's nanotechnology.
I still feel like it's doable, and if you had it, there'd be a market for it.
I'm sure. But you know the old saying, if you build it, they will come.
I can't be the only one needing something like that. I know I can't be.
Oh, you're not.
Probably just not enough to outweigh the profit margin. Just like I have a pre-World War skip tooth bicycle, and nobody reproduces the old school skip tooth bike chain.
Oh, I'm sure there is somebody somewhere that does, because you're not the only one that has that bicycle type that needs that piece of gear. It's out there somewhere.
Out of everybody I've ever talked to, bicycle people, internets, the Facebook groups, you name it. There's nobody right now producing a brand new skip tooth chain.
Yeah, because all the oddball widgets and things that are out there that are 100 years old that people fix and restore, there's always somebody out there that makes what you need. You just gotta search it out hard and long enough.
We'll just get the 3D printer out.
that is definitely on my short list of things I want to get.
You know, that's when you start going to India or places like that, you know, these people will make anything.
Yeah, for a price.
Well, if you got enough money, you can get anything made custom.
That's right.
And that's usually where the line gets drawn, when the money starts, you know, being required. That's why the Hallicrafter CB3 sits on a shelf.
Yeah. That's a shame.
The damn thing works really well too. I think I got like channel 17 in it and a couple others, but not 13. And I've used it and it works really well. Sounds really good, but just can't use it here. And you know, the crazy thing is after doing research on that radio and looking at that radio, there was an optional tunable receiver section you could buy and put in it. Just mine doesn't have that option. And you ain't finding that option now. You know, you're just not finding it.
Yeah, the only way you would get that is if, you know, another junk radio that had it shows up. What's the chances of that?
Yeah, but I you know, it is kind of interesting that one was optional, you know, and a lot of these other ones just come with them. You too can have a tunable receiver if you pay us more money. So when you buy a new radio and they offer options, buy the options now, because at some point in the not too distant future, they're going to stop making those options available when you decide you want the option. So just spend the money and buy the option.
Someday it'll be obsolete.
And you'll want it and you won't be able to get it.
I want it. I know where you get it.
I need it. I need it. I want it. I know where you get it. I want it now.
Yeah. You go run down there, get your skinny ass and.
Oh, man. Need it. I need it now. You skinny pimp.
Skinny pimp. Yeah, skinny pimp.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. I got some stuff to do, and I'll probably by the time I get back, you will be sleeping. So, talk to you probably Sunday.
All right, Joker, man. Have a good one.
All right, Joker. Sounded good tonight. Have a good one. We'll catch you when we catch you.
Roger that. Pleasure talking. Okay, talk to you guys later.
County-wide.
Rock and a half wide.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in here either. It's been a long day. Oh, I might have to go to court for our boiler. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. The boiler saga continues, huh?
Well, Monday they reworked the belly plates I was telling you about, and we fired it up today, and it's still garbage.
Well, the belly plates are not the only problem. There's something else going on in there.
Yeah, they're shuffling and hum-hawing and not believing us and everything. This is the manufacturer. We're like, y'all gotta come out here with your engineers and see what's going on and take care of this thing, because it is not doing what's it's supposed to do. It's obviously a mechanical problem, so y'all need to figure it out.
Yeah, well, you're getting that carry over water somehow.
Yeah, it ain't nothing we're doing.
Well, if it's installed properly, then it shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, there's something wrong in that steam drum. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong in there.
The water's isn't fully turned to steam and it's being pumped out somehow.
Well, it's turning to steam, but it's carrying water with it. And there's 2 stages of steam and water separation that it goes through, and they apparently are not functioning properly, but I don't know why.
Yeah, you need the guys with the shirt and ties that can figure that out, I guess.
That's right. Send your engineers out, take a look at this thing, and make it right.
Break out the old slide rule and, get your digital calculator and calculate some digitals and, fix the damn thing.
Yeah, that's right. Still under your warranty. I heard a breaker. Come on, break.
Hey, cool. Glad you heard me. How's it going, everybody?
Oh, that's oh, good grief. You're down there around you're Goose's friend. What's your 113 or something?
Yeah, 10-4, 1, 2, 3. Nobody but me. What's going on?
That's it. I knew who you were. Hello, 123. Sounding good tonight. Countywide Radio, 441.
Countywide. I'm trying to figure out who I'm talking to. You sound different.
Oh, I'm gonna work in this 1964 Utica, Town and Country 2.
That thing sounds super clean, dude. I don't think I've ever heard you sound that clean.
Oh man. Yeah, this radio, believe it or not, I fished this radio out of the trash can.
Well, I'll tell you what, it don't sound like trash to me. I'm impressed. That thing's seriously professional.
Well, that's a good deal. That makes me happy because I did have to put a little effort into it to straighten it out. But yeah, it's got a really nice receiver on it. Good audio receive. And yeah, I'm told it sounds pretty good. But yeah, I like those unsolicited reports.
Dude, I'm seriously stoked about that radio. It sounds super clean. What kind of power's it putting out?
Well, I got it going through my box and all, but it puts out 3 watts by itself and putting out about 100 watts now. It's only a 6-channel radio with a tunable receiver.
Oh, okay. Has it got a VFO on it?
VFO on a receive. It's only got 6 channels, and you better have the crystal for the channel you want, or you ain't talking where you want because there's only 6 of them.
Yeah, copy that. Okay, it's one of those. Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's got a really good audio section. That thing sounds good.
Yeah, this radio is older than I am, and I'm not young.
I hear that. Yeah, I think you're just a little younger than me.
Yeah, I think this thing was made in like 63, 64.
Wow, that thing's older than me.
Like I said, it's older than me, but not by much, but it is older than me.
Okay, so we might be around the same age.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it. It's pretty cool looking too, man. It's got a gold face with a shiny chrome case.
What's the name of it again?
Utica, Utica, Utica.
Yeah, Utica, New York.
Yeah, but that's not where it was made. It's made in like Indiana or something.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's a Utica, Indiana. Well, Utica made, I think they made, big dump trucks and shit, off-road, quarry stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same company or not. I really don't know, but Utica was around, in the 60s and into the 70s, and I don't think they. In fact, I know they didn't make it out of the pretty much the early 70s. They were done.
Yeah, I never even knew that they made radios. I never heard of one of those radios before.
Yeah. There's a Utica Town and Countries. There's 1, 2, and 3, and I really don't know if there was any others.
Right, they definitely didn't. If they didn't make it out of the early 70s, they definitely didn't make a 40 channel. So only 23 channels if they made them.
Yeah, they made a 23 channel. I only know of one model 23 that they made. I don't know if they made any after that or not. So the ones that are around are kind of rare to begin with. But this is the Town and Country number 2.
Okay, copy that, man. Hey, what kind of meter's on that thing? Can you give me a meter reading?
Yeah, I got to get my glasses on. It's actually got a pretty decent meter. It's this vertical, fat little vertical meter. And come on back. I got my glasses on now. So I can see it, but I can't read the numbers without my glasses.
Hey, okay. I hear you. I'd be curious to hear what that meter reading reads.
Just over a 5, just between a 5, right between a 5 and a 6. In fact, the meter is that fat. You know, it's right between the 5 and the 6.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. It's a vertical sheet meter. Huh. That's something else. Well, then again, that was how they were back then. I mean, I had a Echo. I had an Echo 23 channel was my first radio.
Yeah, this thing is a vertical. It's like 3/4 of an inch wide, and the S1 is at the top, and then there's goes to 40 dB over, which is all the way at the bottom. And I've had other vertical meters that are opposite of that.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I'm surprised I'm giving you that with this rig I'm using. I'm using a freaking $19 Midland top loaded magnet mount.
Yeah, you keep landing right about the S6 mark.
That's cool. I was talking to freaking Green Dog on this antenna last week.
Yeah, all it takes is a good spot, nothing in between.
I guess, man. I'm having a hard time getting a match on it though now. I mean, if this match is like over two to one.
Well, it's not hurting you too bad because it's working.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised, man. Unless I'm just getting a funky reading from this meter. It's not the meter on the radio. I got a digital SWR antenna analyzer.
Yeah, well, like I said, you seem to be coming up here like you normally do. I mean, I heard you, no problem. Well, let's see if Bagger hears you.
No,
Dave does not hear you.
he's right in my noise level. I got a 4 noise level. He pushes it up to about a 4.5.
Copy that. Yeah, I figured that. I was gonna say because I'm having a hard time hearing him too. He's only giving me like 2 down here.
What am I giving you down there?
You give me 5.
Roger, 10-4. Well, there you go. You're doing better to me than I am to you, it seems.
Yeah, and I got some bleed over too. I'm getting some bleed over from Funky.
Yeah, I'm not getting any bleed over. I got it super quiet here, and I went over this radio, I don't know, a year or 2 ago when I first got it, and calibrated the S meter to my signal generator, so I assume that it's reasonably good.
Yeah, copy that, man. Yeah, it sounds good, man. I'm impressed with that radio. Hey, did you ever get your antenna up another 10 feet or whatever?
No, that particular day I was trying to go higher was a complete and utter failure. But I haven't given up. I'll get it up higher eventually. But hey, I'm pretty satisfied with 85 feet, to be honest.
Man, I'm getting so much bleed over. I caught half of that.
All right. Well, let me put a little more fire in the wire and see if that helps out.
That works. Okay, give it to me again.
Yeah, a little fire in the wire. But yeah, I got the antenna up at 85 feet, and then the day I was trying to get it up higher was a complete and utter failure and waste of time. But I haven't given up yet.
Keep trying, you'll get it.
Up to 85 feet, but you couldn't get up there?
No, it's up at 85 feet. I was going for 100.
Oh, okay. You can only get it up to 85.
Yeah, but I completely failed to get to 100. I ran into issues, but I haven't given up yet.
Okay. Now, when you say get it up to 100, you're talking about the base of the antenna is going to be at 100?
That's what I'm talking about. The base of it's at 85 now.
Okay, so the antenna is up around 100. Because it's an 18-foot antenna, right?
Roger Dodger.
over 100. You want to get it 118 feet.
Well, I don't go by. I go by the base. I don't go by the tip because the most of your signal comes off the base and along the length of it. So I always go by the base, not the tip.
Well, wait a second now. What antenna are you talking about? You're talking about an Antron, right?
No, an IMAX, but same. But yeah, it's an IMAX.
Yeah, but that's a top-loaded antenna.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it is. It's a half wave over a quarter wave.
No, it's not. It's a 5/8 wave antenna. If you ever busted one apart, the load's in the bottom. It's nothing but wire the rest of the length of it.
It's got a load in it, doesn't it? Isn't there a load in that antenna?
It's you could call it a load, but it's really a matching coil. It's a matching network at the base of it. But there ain't nothing else but wire from there on.
Oh, I think the Antron's different. I think the Antron has a load at the top of the bottom section. So the top two sections radiate and the bottom section radiates. But they work against each other, like transduction or whatever.
Yeah, that's not true either. It's an end-fed half wave. Antron 99 is an end-fed half wave antenna. The IMAX 2000 is a 5/8 wave antenna. Anybody who says it's something else than that doesn't know what they're talking about.
That's right.
Sure, when they first came out.
It's a bunch of snake oil. It's a bunch of hokum. It's an end-fed half wave and a 5/8 wave. A99 and IMAX respectively.
Okay, copy that. I think we got a breaker.
Pick up the breaker. I didn't hear him.
Oh, maybe that's a bleed over. That must be the bleed over I'm getting.
Yeah, you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
Nah, this wasn't.
Oh, hell no.
Back in the day when they came out, back in the what? 80s, I guess it was?
Well, it went in true antenna theory. The A99 is an end-fed half-wave antenna. And yeah, there's a matching network in there, but it doesn't do anything but match the impedance. So you can end-feed a half-wave, which is a high-impedance antenna. And basically, the IMAX 2000 is a 5/8 wave antenna with a matching network because the impedance matching to the 50-ohm coax. That's all that's going on with that coil on the bottom.
Okay, copy that.
But the radiating element is the rest of the antenna. But as far as height measurements go, I always go with the base of the antenna, not the rest of the antenna.
Yeah, sure, because if it's, like you said, it's end-fed, so yeah, if it's fed from the bottom, that's where it's starting to radiate from.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I always thought they were top-loaded. I didn't realize they were bottom-loaded.
No, I had one come down, fall down and smash into a rock and all that fiberglass splintered away. The rest of it ain't nothing but wire. It's just nothing but wire inside that fiberglass.
Yeah, 10-4. I've seen a couple of them apart, and I remember Big Paul telling me he thinks lightning hit his because he had that fiberglass shit all looked like confetti all over his backyard.
Yeah, well, when they hit boulders, they don't come out of it so well neither. That fiberglass just shatters away.
I mean, I don't think this thing shattered. I think the stem was still on his roof, but the fiberglass shit was all spread all over his backyard.
Oh yeah. I had a VHF antenna got hit by lightning. It was a fiberglass antenna, and it just dissipated it all over the place. But it was funny that the VHF was actually a collinear antenna, and the first quarter wave of it was aluminum, and then the next half wave of the antenna was fiberglass. The fiberglass shattered and vaporized, but the aluminum quarter wave section stayed there, and the antenna still worked as a quarter wave.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to 123.
Don't even hear him. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to bed. Catch you later. Good night there. Have a good one. See you all later, wherever that 123 is. Oh, 123? Man, he's a grasser. Catch you later. Good night.
Yeah, he's down there in King of Prussia area. Yeah, maybe he's in Bridgeport or whatever. But yeah, I guess my Utica's got some ears.
Got big ears there, Dumbo. Catch you later. See ya.
Good night, JR.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night myself.
It's getting after 10, so catch everyone later. Classic Radio Roundup. Yeah, Bagger. Have a good one. Good night.
All right, I guess I'm going to back out too and shut down the video gate. We'll catch you later there, 123. You're sounding good on my radio receiver. Check out in a couple of days, Classic Radio Roundup on YouTube, and you'll be able to see how you came in on my Utica Town and Country 2 here in the Volcano Crater.
All right, sounds good, Spitfire. Have a good one, countywide. We'll catch you guys later.
Yep, I had the video gate rolling tonight for the first time in like 4 or 5 years, so check it out. A couple days when I get it uploaded. Countywide, 7-3 all. Yeah, short, go ahead.
When you launch an arrow up through the tree and you tie the fishing string to your rope to pull your antenna up, how do you get that knot up through the crotch of the tree?
I shoot an arrow up, fishing line over, pull up a small line to a bigger line. The bigger line is tied around the antenna, half hitched, and just pull it up until the antenna is to two-thirds of the antenna are up over the branch. The 1/3 of the antenna is below the branch where the half hitch is tied to the antenna.
So I got mine at a little under half that, but you know, that little that knot where you tie the rope to your fishing string, I just have to do mine the same way you did. But I had a hard time getting that knot through the crotch of the tree, so I don't know if you wipe like soap down it or something to make it slicker.
No, you do one of them a bowline knot, and then wrap it in tape. You know, make a wedge. So the transition from the fishing line to your next size line is like a wedge, you know, with some tape.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just wondering, so I got a tree where I can go up about 70 feet if I could figure out the whole knot thing. I just wanted to ask you before you left.
Yeah, don't do a granny knot. I think it's called a bowline knot. So it has like a loop to it instead of a dead end, you know what I mean? Like a bulge. And then wrap tape around it so you make a nice transition from your fishing line to your next size line. And then from that line, I go to an even bigger line and do the same thing there. And then the bigger line supports it all. So you got to transition through. You can't go from fishing line to a fat line. The transition bump, even with tape, is too much. But the tape helps smooth things out. Like you make a cone, you know what I mean? Over the knot, make a cone from your line to your fishing line. And then that helps me get over the bump. I know what you're talking about. So that ought to help you out.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was thinking of funnel when you were explaining that. But, yeah, I might try that out. I just got a new IMAX. But thanks for the input and staying for another minute.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, good luck. Let me know how you make out with that. And yeah, funnel, a cone, something to ease the transitions instead of a bump of the knot. All right, 7-3. Thanks for the fun on the Classic Radio Roundup. Countywide Radio signing.
Good night. Skippy signing off.